Hello everyone, welcome back. Took a few days off there, had a really bad sinus infection, and then I finally got my new camera. So those of you that have been watching for a while can hopefully see the difference in the video quality. I can see a ton of difference on my side, so that's super awesome. So anyway, so we're talking about eating clean. I'm not going to get into the definition of eating clean and the problem with that today. That's going to be for another day. But we're going to talk about what happens when people start eating clean and they notice that they're not getting any weight loss. This could be that you're just getting started and you've made these changes, with working out and eating better. Or maybe it's you lost some weight and then you plateaued. That tends to generally be what most people are experiencing as some sort of plateau. And it's super frustrating, right? So if you're in that frustrated state and you're like, man, I'm eating better and I'm eating clean and I'm working out, I'm doing all these things, but I'm not really losing any weight, I'm not really sure what's going on, then definitely stick around because we're going to talk about that today. So as always, if you're watching this thing live, drop a hashtag live in the comments. I really appreciate it. And a hashtag replay if you're watching a replay. Helps these videos get out to more people so I can help more people, because that's what I love to do. So, all right, so we're talking about eating clean, right? Or we're talking about eating better, right? Eating clean is a different discussion we'll talk about on a completely different video, because I could talk about that for hours and hours and hours. But today we're talking about that stalled progress. Like I said in the beginning, maybe that's either stalled progress because you're just getting started and nothing's changed, or you've lost some weight and then all of a sudden it kind of stopped. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So what I've noticed is that the majority of the time, what's happening is that most people at this point are not eating enough. Their metabolism has slowed down to the point where they're not really burning off anything. So what you need to do, and this is going to sound super crazy if it's something you have never tried before, but I promise you this has worked for hundreds and hundreds of clients that I've worked with. You need to do what is called reverse dieting, okay? Anybody who has done a cut for any certain amount of time, like a specific weight cut, it's the exact same thing. You get in the weight cut and then you slowly build up your calories until you get back to a maintenance calories, and then you're eating that and then you're good to go, right? So this is the exact same thing that happens, because generally what happens is the person's under eating to begin with. They're generally eating too much fats and too many carbs and way too little protein, all right? So that's number one. So then what happens is when you're finally able to start working out and people start eating healthier, well, nutrient dense foods like that is not super dense in calories, okay? So a sweet potato compared to, I don't know, McDonald's is completely different in what the amount of calories that you have in there. Now, while calories is not the end all be all, I'm just using calories as an example to explain what I'm talking about. And so when you start eating healthier, there's less calories in that. But let's say you have sweet potato, you have some lean meat. So you have like venison. I really love venison. And then you have some vegetables. It would take you a 4-cup bowl to actually equal about 400 or 500 calories in that one bowl. Okay, that's quite a bit of food. So what happens, you start eating healthier, you tend to start eating less calories already. And for most people, they're eating less calories as it is. So you're already in a deficit. Then you're eating less because you're eating healthier foods, so you're even more of a deficit. Then you start working out really hard because you're super motivated to get going, and you're a deficit even more. So metabolism, the body is very smart, right? So whatever you're intaking, the body's metabolism slows to kind of pick up to that to a certain extent. Obviously, there are several cases where this is not going to be exactly right. For the majority of people out there, this is what's going on. So what happens is when you work on a reverse dieting, so we slowly build you up to the actual amount of calories you're supposed to be at maintenance, then your body and your metabolism will speed up, which will mean that you'll actually be able to burn more calories and you'll be able to burn that body fat off, which is what most people are looking for. So in general, what you're trying to do is, so if I'm working with a client here, we're going to slowly build them up about 10% a week. That's generally where we're working at. For most people, this is going to take about 6 weeks or so to work up to, okay? So it's also knowing like where your actual calories need to be, what you're eating right now, and all that's exactly what happens when I'm working with a client. I help them figure out where their baseline is, how are we going to build up, and then we make small incremental steps so it doesn't feel overwhelming when you're doing it. So, hey, what's up, Tiffany? Hey, thanks for the hashtag live, appreciate that. But it's when you stick to that reverse diet. I know I'm already at 5 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap this up really quick. When you're working on that reverse dieting, what you're doing is it's like you're putting fuel on the fire. Like think about it like literally like wood, like a wood fire, right? And the more wood you have on that fire, the bigger your metabolism, or the bigger the fire can burn. Well, now that's your metabolism. So if there's no wood, there's no food in the body, then we don't have any fire, AKA metabolism. So you put food into the body, metabolism picks up, body can start burning. And then once you get your body back and your metabolism is up, then you can work on eating in a deficit and losing body fat. But until you do that, if you're always eating at this, I do not know where this came up with or where it's become so popular, is the 1200 calorie and the 1000 calorie diet. These things are so incredibly dangerous that it is ridiculous. And to see that it's so rampant, it's like anybody could lose weight on 1000 calories a day. It is so bad for you mentally, physically, all around. You're starving your body by doing that. I think I've had one client in the last 10 years that was 1000 calories, 1200 calories, 12 or 1100 calories, something like that. And she stood like 4'8" and she weighed about 120 pounds. So unless that's you, then you should be eating more than 1000 calories, but we'll talk about that another day. I'm already over my 5 minutes and I'm trying to keep these videos to. Hey, Garland, what's up, man? Thanks for the hashtag. Thanks, Hannah, appreciate that. All right. Your wood on fire explanation is what made it click for me. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks, Tiffany. Because that's exactly what it is, right? I mean, metabolism, we want that thing fire, or sorry, el fuego, right? We want that fire going, and we can't do that if there's no wood in the fire. And so that's why we need to eat more. So remember, if you're in that plateau point and you think that you're stuck, start working on reverse dieting, figure out where you're at, increase it by 10% every single week. And then once you finally get to your maintenance amount of calories, then and only then can you work on eating in a deficit. And then you will successfully be able to keep weight off because you are in check with your metabolism. Now, there's a specific way to do the cut itself to make sure that you keep that weight off, because most people, actually things like 90% or 95% of people that lose weight, they gain it back within 5 years. It's because they don't do it the right way. And that's exactly what I teach my clients, how to do it the right way. So you get it off and you keep it off, and you don't have to keep doing this back and forth and gain and lose the same 10 and 15 pounds like over and over and over again. So as always, drop those hashtags in there, hashtag live if you're watching it live, hashtag replaying the replays. Keep these questions coming. I love the new camera setup here. It looks so much better. So have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you later.